Hear ye! Hear ye!
Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see faces, even though I can't tell if you're frowning or smiling, but at least there's faces out there. So welcome, and we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with the Executive General Manager's report, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, community, welcome. First, giving you an election update that even though we are in the red tier, we continued the election process as is. I know Joe Firmino gave an update at the delegates meeting earlier this month. We'll still have limitations on room size, so the count will be done remotely currently at this time. Members will be able to view the process through GoToMeeting. The information is on the first page of the notice that is mailed with the ballot. Similar to last year, the inspector will come to the site and acquire delegate signatures. Now, as of Monday, we've only received 1,092 ballots, and only District 19 has reached quorum. Also, please do not drop off your ballots at the administration office. You must mail them to the inspectors of election in the prepaid envelope provided to you. Remember, sign the white envelope to validate your ballot. Next, as we've reached the red tier in Riverside County, there's a new listing on the website. You can go to the website, it looks like this. Has all the open enclosures, what amenities, and what capacity they're at, so that you can be aware how many people. That's also being monitored by Recreation, dealing with ping pong, the pool room. All that information is on the website. Let's see, the annual audit is complete, and the board will be, it's on the board's agenda to receive and file. This report will be mailed to the homeowners in April. I had a great meeting with the Communications Committee, and they will be focusing, and we will all be focusing on monthly updates to the community. For example, there will be a monthly administration update. Both Jason and I will be updating the community on monthly on new events, projects, rules, and new legislation that's coming down. Also, Jason's going to be helping out, giving an update from the subs, so they have representation. The Executive General Manager will have an update. There will be a one-on-one interview style with questions from the community, of course, while drinking coffee. Also, we are starting a Did You Know segment on Good Day Sun Lakes. This will provide the community updates from the board, committees, and information on topics ranging from how to add a guest to Dwelling Live, golf tips from the Director of Golf. We're also going to be doing a live shot with Mark Birchfield on his work that we're doing on the new sand trap project that he is testing out. So look for these. We start recording these in April, so I'm looking forward for these to be presented in conjunction with Good Day Sun Lakes. And that completes my report, Madam President.
Thank you. Okay, Jason.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Again, it's good to see people in person here. Got a little lengthy report tonight, but this report will give the community an update on actions that were taken by the board at the executive session actions on March 10th and March 24th, 2021, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. With member matters, the board reviewed 8 show cause hearings. The board reviewed 3 homeowner requests for delinquency fee waivers, denying the hard costs on 2 and tabling the other. The board reviewed 2 member requests for an overnight parking variance. The board reviewed and approved an appeal of the MAC fine. The board reviewed and tabled a member request for a fee waiver. The board interviewed a member for the Financial Advisory Committee. The board reviewed and approved a member request for a MAC variance. The board met with the EPAP executive team to get an update on EPAP status. The board approved a member request for a celebration of life event in May on the driving range and veranda, as long as we do not revert back to the purple tier. The board approved allowing doubling up in golf carts starting April 1st, 2021. The board approved to heat the pools and open them April 1st, 2021. The hours will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the month of April. Legal. The board reviewed and approved the minutes from the February 4th, February 24th, and March 10th, 2021 executive sessions. The board approved the F&B and golf receivables as of February 28th, 2021, as well as the assessment account receivables as of February 28th, 2021. The board approved a foreclosure on lien and recorded the notice of default on the following: APN 440-082-004, APN 440-101-058, and APN 419-292-028. The board approved the addition of 6 GL numbers for script and gift card revenue recognition. The board discussed the 2 rule changes for AB 3182 and commercial trailers. The board reviewed and denied a member request for basketball courts due to the cost and liability. The board reviewed a member request for additional benches at the pickleball courts. The board tabled this item in order to reach out to the club as well as to get a cost. Formation of contracts. The board received updates from the management company on a number of items. The board approved management to engage with architect Jorge Perez on the lounge expansion not to exceed $15,000 to be funded from capital improvement. The board received an update on the 2020 audit from London Gentry. The board approved a uniform contract for golf course maintenance, operations maintenance, and recreation monitors. The board reviewed the proposals for pavement management services. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed the proposal for the Gate 2 fountains. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposal for the removal of the pine trees at Gate 2 fountains. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for the replacement of golf course maintenance equipment. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for golf course tree maintenance program. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for the painting and repairs of the executive course stucco walls. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for the painting and repair of the championship golf course stucco walls. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposal for the painting of the north clubhouse and pool area stucco walls and iron fence. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposal for the paint and repair of the RV lot stucco walls and iron fence. Again, this item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for painting and repair of the common area iron fence. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals to replace the HVAC systems at the north clubhouse. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board reviewed proposals for the habitat tree maintenance. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. And lastly, the board approved an emergency expenditure for the pest remediation in the main clubhouse. This item is on tonight's agenda for ratification. And that completes the report on executive session actions.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have a report from the City of Banning? Oh, okay. Okay, sub-associations, Lakeside?
I actually have an update, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
I have, if it's okay with you, Madam President, I would just go and flow into all 3, if that's okay with you.
You may do all 3.
Starting with Lakeside, we will have our annual elections this Friday. There are 2 member seats up, and we do have 2 candidates for those positions. Lakeside 2, their elections will take place tomorrow. They have 3 open spots, and they have 3 candidates to fill those positions. And Fairway Villas, they had their elections last Tuesday, and I'd like to welcome Melinda Carpenter, Beverly Kreider, and Robert Wilcox, as they are the 3 new board members. And I would like to thank Karen Clavelo, Rich Messick, and Kathy Wells for all their hard work and dedication to Fairway Villas. And that completes the report.
Thank you. Are any of those newly elected here? No? Okay. All right. Delegate Assembly.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to see familiar faces again. Looks like the old gang is beginning to gather. I'm Joe Firmino, the chairperson of the District Delegate Assembly. We had our meeting last Thursday, and we had a number of very important items that we covered on our agenda. First of all, we had a report from the Charitable Trust, and we will have a Charity Week this year beginning on June 7th. We will have a Charity Week. I want everybody, all the districts, delegates, to make sure they get the information out. And beyond that, the tickets for the drawing and the drop will be out probably in mid-April. Please take the tickets, buy them. We have a number of people, organizations that need our donations, and we have lost some time, so they are hurting. So we need all the help you can give us. Then after that, we had a report from the Recreation Department on the events coming up, hopefully, and from the Food and Beverage Director, and our dining room is opening this Friday. So we need people to eat. We need our members to please come in and use our services. Next item on our agenda was a discussion in regards to the closing of the gates from 10 at night to 6 in the morning. The Board of Directors received the various numbers and reports, pro and con, from the various districts, and I'm sure we'll get a decision pretty soon from the board. The next item on the agenda was an introduction of Brandy Perez, who is the new member for the Executive EPAP Committee, and she sounds like a real ball of fire. I think hopefully that our EPAP program will begin to be reorganized and will be going very, very soon. The Delegate Assembly for umpteen years have met on the second Thursday of each month. We are going to change that date to the first Thursday. Now here's the reason. Our board meeting is like tonight, the fourth Wednesday of the month. 1 week later normally will be the delegate meeting. This clusters the two important meetings of the month within a matter of a week to 10 days. This allows the district delegates to send out information to the members pretty quick, and the news they will disseminate to their residents will be pretty fresh. So this is really important. I think it's going to work very nicely for everybody. The marketing department will send out after the board meeting a synopsis of what happens, the importance, the highlights of the board meeting, and then the delegates will, of course, write their own report of our delegate meeting and combine the two in the newsletters. So the newsletter should be out that first week after the first Thursday. So I think it's a good plan, and the delegates certainly will execute it, believe me. We also had an speaker, Anita Lawrence from District 18, who asked that the Delegate Assembly consider reviewing all of the members in their district who are living alone. Sometimes something happens to a person who is living alone and it is not discovered immediately. If and when it is discovered that a happening happens, we don't know who to call. So we are going to try in each district to put together a contact list of everyone that is living alone. I think it's a worthwhile program. I think it's going to work and help the communication. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Ron Varner could not make it here tonight, so he did send this in for us to read. This is the narrative for February's financials. Net income for the month of February was $164,074 and was $65,302 better than budget. This brings the year-to-date net income to $317,380 and is $185,000 better than budget. Positive variance was due to lower than budget operations in all departments other than property protection. It is expected that restaurant and lounge operations will begin to reopen this month. Food and beverage operations are and will continue to be monitored on a weekly basis. As with January, revenue reporting for February is based on FASB 606, resulting in a reported negative variance in revenue, which passes through as a negative reduction in reserve expense, offsetting the negative revenue variance. It is expected that revenue assessment in the near future will be recognized and accrued as they are billed. Balance sheet, as in January, remains strong in February, with total assets increasing from $13,738,973 to $13,801,214, with cash and cash equivalents of $12,970,620. Current liabilities and accrued payroll were $554,706 at month's end, and that completes the February financial narrative.
Thank you. Okay, committee reports. I know we have some here. I'll just go through. I know, well, we're not having bingo. Common Area Advisory. Communications Advisory.
Yes. Communications report, Madam President, Board. The Communications Committee is actively working with administration and the Master Board to enhance communications with the Sun Lakes community. In March, we began using the Channel 97 banner or crawl to update viewers with information such as restaurant daily specials, vaccination information, gate closures, etc. We would like to encourage residents to check it periodically for important information, especially if they are not active in our community Facebook pages. We are starting several new monthly video projects geared towards helping to orientate new and existing residents to our many facilities and introducing our staff, as many of them are new or not familiar with us. We hope that you will come to look forward to seeing them as we are to creating them. Sorry, I butchered that, Bob and Lee. They will start to roll out in April. That is the Communication Advisory Committee's update.
Thank you. EPAP. Finance Advisory.
That was along with the Treasurer's report.
Okay. Golf Advisory Committee. Library. Leanne, push the button, please, in the bottom there. There you go.
Push there. Okay. I'm Leanne McLaughlin with the Library Advisory Committee. All libraries are open now. I'm sure most of you know. The main clubhouse hardback library is in pretty good shape. We cleaned that up. The paperback library is in pretty good shape except for the audiobooks. We still need to go through all of them and repair the cases and do a few other things. The South Clubhouse is pretty good too. The North Clubhouse is not. We have way too many puzzles, so if anyone has family or friends that they would like to donate a puzzle to, that's fine with us. I have a lot at my house that I need to put in the North Clubhouse, and there's no room. We don't purge the Westerns or the large print. We may do that at some point, but we never have so far. So I wasn't sure people knew that. And we will not have an April luncheon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lifestyles? No? Okay. Marketing?
I do have a report from marketing. The Marketing Committee met on March 1st, and these were the significant items that were discussed. They added Greg Votko, sorry Greg if I butchered that, to the committee. He will be on the board's agenda for final approval in April. Real estate is selling fast inside Sun Lakes. At the time of the meeting, there were only 7 active listings available. In that regard, we learned from realtors that they would appreciate if Sun Lakes could create a procedure that would allow them to get through the gates more expeditiously. Marcia said that she would bring this up. They would like to recommend that the master board make a requirement that delegate newsletters include the summary and distribute their newsletter every month within a week to 10 days of the master board meeting, which, as you heard Joe speak earlier, that is going to happen. Welcome Home is still actively greeting new residents with a welcome bag of goodies. There are over 300 new residents in Sun Lake since December. And we are planning a coordinated meeting with the Communications Committee soon to combine efforts. So those two committees will be working together on a number of projects. And that will complete the report for marketing.
Thank you. Master Architectural Committee?
We do have a report. Maybe Jason and I should have done, get prepared ourselves for speaking. Do have a report respectfully submitted by David Keeley. All owners and residents within the association, including Lakeside, Lakeside 2, and Fairway Villas Community Associations, are obligated to comply with the association governing documents. The Planning and Compliance Department is receiving calls from residents about work they want to accomplish. Topics include artificial turf, solar panels, and room additions. Applications for these 3 improvements require work to be done by a contractor with a valid license. Prior approval is required before making any changes to your property. And I love this, if you could see, he's bolding this and big font. No exterior improvement of any kind shall be built, constructed, erected, installed, modified, altered, or planted by any owner or resident on any lot within Sun Lakes Country Club until the plans and specifications have been submitted to and approved in writing to the Master Architectural Committee. This information is on the application you will use. Excuse me. The association recommends these documents be obtained prior to hiring for all improvements where a contractor is used, a copy of California State Contractor's License, copy of City Business License where business is located, copy of liability or workers' compensation insurance. No work is to begin until you have received written notification or approval from the Master Architectural Committee. Unapproved construction, installation, alteration, or removing of or removal of an improvement is a violation of the governing documents. I think he probably underlined that no, I'm just kidding. Failure to comply with the governing documents may result in the enforcement action, including but not limited to imposition of a fine, assessment, and/or other penalty and/or legal action. Again, submitted by David Keeley, Chairman of the Master Architectural Committee.
Thank you. Recreation Advisory? Oh, okay. We'll back up to EPAP, okay?
Brandy Perez on the executive team for EPAP. She was at the delegates meeting last week and asked the delegates to report to her, to send her an email with the EPAP positions within each district, whether that be the zone captains, the coordinator. As of right now, she has only received it from District 2. So the rest of the districts, please get that information over to Brandy Perez. She is at ladymedic21@gmail.com. Please get that information to her by the 1st of April. And that completes the report.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go back. Recreation? RV storage? Okay, restaurant and lounge?
Hello, everybody. I'm Beverly Simmons with Restaurant and Lounge Advisory Committee, and we've actually been meeting. The restaurant is opening. We're so excited. I hope everybody has made your reservations for Friday, this Friday, 2 days. We've added 2 new people to our committee who are going to be approved at the next meeting. So we actually have a full committee now, which is really good. And we've been asked to help the restaurant define who they are. So what is our niche? What is it that we do really well? What is the specialty? What is it that pulls people into the restaurant? And how can we increase that? So I'd love to put that out to the community. What do you see as the restaurant's niche? We'd love to hear your thoughts, your ideas. You can email me or contact any of the Restaurant and Lounge Committee members and let us know what you think. Because it would, I have a feeling that, and I'm sure most of you would agree, that the restaurant attracts us because we want to sit and talk with each other, have a glass of wine and socialize. So what does that look like to you? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Safety advisory? None. Okay. That completes the committee reports. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there any items that the board would like pulled from the consent?
I think we might want to
One-
consider B2 and C1.
Okay. Any others? Okay, going forward on the remaining, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, they pass 4-0. Okay. What we have approved on the consent agenda is the open session meeting minutes from February 24th, the district delegate assembly resignation of Ken Anderson from District 17, the Recreation Advisory Committee resignation of Jerry Wall, the appointment of Sheila Hammer, to fill the vacancy, her term ending 12/31 of '21. We've ratified the reserve expenditure of the main clubhouse, and let me get to that. Okay. Last month, we ratified a portion of, which was $27,373.65. Today or tonight, at the exec, we ratified the amount of $31,192.30, and this was the completion of that hazardous material redemption in the kitchen and the dining area, which completed complete cleanup and all the traps that were sent. It is spotless up there now, and they have located the, my understanding, I don't know where Mark went. There he
Mark's
is.
right there.
To my understanding, you've found where all the holes are and they've been plugged in, correct? Okay. So going forward, we should not have any more issues, we're hoping. And we do have a yearly program put in place where they will come out, correct? Okay. All right. So, and then we approved, let me go on to the resolution to pre-lien on the delinquent accounts. Okay. We've approved, you want to read the numbers? You want me to do it, Chris?
I can do it, Madam
Okay.
President. So these items are to lien delinquent assessment accounts. The following account numbers are 2176-01, 2421-01, 1227-01, 2405-01, 2426-03, 2733-01, 2916-02. That completes the resolution to record lien for delinquent assessments, Madam President.
Thank you. We also approved the receive and file of our 2020 annual audit, and the distribution will be out to the membership by the end of April. And this was from London Guthrie, excuse me. And that was on the agenda, but do you want us to go? We don't have to pre-approve.
No,
it
that,
again.
Madam
We've
President, that
already
is
done
actually a
that.
receive and file. That will also be, since you have approved it, that will be, that report will be mailed to the homeowners in their annual report that they should, will be mailed out during the month of April.
Okay. We also approved the receive and file of the February 28th, 2021 financials. And, okay. Going back to the two that were pulled. The one that we pulled was the appointment of, to District 17 delegate,
Nita Cook.
Nita Cook, not Nita. And I want to say, the reason we're tabling this and pulling it is there has been information brought to us on different levels concerning, one, the existing alternate delegate felt that she was not given the opportunity to apply for that position. So the board feels we, in fairness to everyone involved, both Nita, that person, and the district, the parties involved, we need to get together, and I think Joe has left, need to get together and decide how we want to go forward with that, and we've also received more information tonight. So we need to relook at this, and it will be brought back on next month's agenda. And the second one was the appointment of Robert Hicks to fill a vacancy in the FAC, and I'll entertain a motion on that. Saying there's none, it dies for lack of motion, and his appointment is denied. Okay. Going on to new business. Funding request. Let me get to that one. Okay. Number 10, architectural design. The board chose, we chose at our March 10th executive session to move forward with Bing, it's Bing, B as in boy, E-I-N-G, design, to work on the lounge expansion project. The lead on the project, Jorge Perez, will work with the board and committees to develop design renderings based on input from the board and selected committees. We awarded it to him not to exceed the amount of $15,000 towards the project. This will allow the scope of the project and full budget to be developed. Then the contractor will return to the board and with the final project budget, design and architectural work, and a development timeline. So I will entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the proposal as written.
I second that.
To the tune of $15,000 too.
And Bob, you second?
Yes.
Any discussion from the board?
Yes, I'd like to say something on that. What we would like to do is, I guess the next board will have it, but to expand the lounge either out through into the dining room or even looking at going out towards the veranda. Now, there are some pitfalls in that because fire marshals will not allow you to narrow that passageway down, that passageway going out to the veranda. So you're looking at the walls, so that the architect then has to come to us and say, what walls are weight-bearing? Those walls can't come down. So there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts in that, but it would behoove us to do that because you need more seating in that, in the lounge. And I know how I would do it, but that's going to be left up to the people that follow me. So I just want to get that in. Thank you.
I wanted to say, you know, that's been a contention here for quite a few years, you know, expand that lounge. So we said, let's get an architect in here, look at it, tell us what we can do, what we can't do, and what the amount will be. This isn't a given. This is just to give us an idea of can it be done? If so, how much, and with the expansion and the number of additional seats, will it warrant spending that amount of money? So this is what's going to happen going forward with the new board. We did put out there, if you had ideas, we have received a couple from, one from the Restaurant Task Force. Gentleman sent his design ideas, because the architect wants to know what do the residents want? What are they really looking for? And so he has an idea. He'll put that into place, as well as looking at what structurally he can and cannot do. But I just wanted to explain why we were doing that. Is there any comments from the audience? And if you do, please come up to the podium. No? Okay. I have a first and second to approve the funding request for the architect and design services at an amount not to exceed $15,000. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay, funding request of golf course maintenance equipment reserve funds, a total of $325,060 component, and we're going to go over this. Let me pull this. I'm going to start with, where did we go here? Number 10B, okay. This is, the staff was currently reviewing the golf course maintenance equipment and evaluating maintenance cost, failures, etc. The golf course maintenance staff has identified several pieces of equipment that need to be replaced. The staff recommends the following pieces of equipment to be replaced: green mowers, 2, rough mowers, 1 for the exec, 2 for the championship, a material handler, 1, a Planet Air aerator, 1, and a light-duty top dresser, 1. Staff sought proposals from different dealers, and the summaries are attached. And I'm going, after I read this, I'm going to have Mark come up and give some detail on this. But the green mowers, 2 of them, the vendor John Deere, at a cost, this includes tax, of $81,948. Rough mowers, the exec is a Toro at $59,180. Rough mowers, 2 of them, Toro/Trimax, at a cost of $97,528. A material handler, 1 at Turfco at $38,529. A Planet Air aerator at Trifecta is the vendor at $34,388. And a light-duty top dresser, 1 is a Turfco at $13,487. And before Mark comes up, I want to say that the Financial Advisory Committee, the FAC, was involved with this. They came in, they talked with Mark, they looked at the bids, they went over the equipment, they looked in the reserves, and they have approved this. Many of these have been pushed back. We pushed it back for 2 years on many of that equipment, and it's to the point where they don't have enough Band-Aids left to put it together. And it needs to happen. But Mark, if you want to come up and add a few words of what you've been going through.
Thank you, Sandy. Good evening. I'm Mark Birchfield, your golf course superintendent and director of golf maintenance. As Sandy has said, a lot of this equipment has been deferred over the last 3 or 4 years. There is many pieces of equipment here that calibrate and put out a specific amount of material so that we get the optimum effect on multiple aspects of the golf course. That's what these top dressers do. These top dressers are designed now to save us money on the rate, and we can save the rate once we know what the rate is. I know it sounds complicated, but each time we go out, we're guessing to a certain degree how much material is going out. So this will help us stay on a line item and in amount and be more consistent. Also, a lot of this equipment is over 17 years old. Most of this equipment should last you upwards of 15. We've done pretty well with this, but right now, to put it mildly, this spreading equipment is not holding water. We literally are dragging sand all over the golf course when we transfer product. So that's money going out the window, so to speak. The mowers are very time sensitive. What I'm saying by that, we use them every day. We don't run them at half throttle or quarter throttle. We run them at 100%. These mowers keep their efficiency for a long time. Although I do say we have a great mechanic in Jerry Diaz. He's very good. But when you've got 4 or 5 pieces of equipment stacked up, and I'm trying to plan a procedure which needs to be done for the good of the golf course, for the aesthetics from the residents, and the playability from the golf course as well for the golfers, and I can't do it, or I can't do it fast enough because the equipment won't run efficiently, I can't stay in front of play, it becomes very challenging. So to the Board of Directors, thank you for considering this. The fact we went through a lot of this stuff piece by piece, explained it, and they were comfortable with what I was telling them. And I think it's an asset to our efficiency and to the well-being of our property overall. The amenity of the golf course is quite big, a lot of moving parts, and we should be thinking about trying to get things done in a timely way without having major breakdowns. And that's pretty much where we're at with the equipment. This equipment will go between both golf courses, not just one. We'll get many years of efficiency out of them, and they'll serve us right because we've done the research, and the companies are very, very well designed. So just want to say thank you very much.
Your microphone's off.
Sorry.
Yes, Sandy,
I'm sorry.
this
It
is-
does come out of the repair and reserves. I did not state that, so it is coming out of reserves. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the proposal as written, $325,000,
60.
$325,060 as requested. So
Do I have a second?
I second.
Do I have any more discussion from the board?
yes,
Yes, I have,
Go ahead, go ahead.
I object. I'm an active golfer. I support the golf course 100%, and I look forward to purchasing the equipment down the road. But we're in the middle of an election. We're going to have a new board in a few more weeks, and I prefer an expensive, big-ticket item like this to be temporarily postponed, so I object based upon that reason.
We haven't voted yet. but-
Yeah, I would like to say something. Operating this heavy equipment is a lot different than what everyone's used to having their lawnmower at home. These are complicated machines, and they take a lot of work. And when things break down in the maintenance yard, these people are slowed up on doing their work, and it costs us money in the long run. So we've got to keep this equipment up to date and operational to have a good, because we have more acreage in our golf course. I think it's 174 acres in the 2 golf courses, and it's much larger than most any other golf course. Just the executive course alone, or no, the championship course alone is larger than most golf courses acreage-wise. So we do need to keep this equipment up, and so this new equipment is going to go a long ways in keeping these guys working and keeping the golf courses in great shape. So thank you.
And, this equipment needs to be replaced, it needs to be fixed, it doesn't matter which board does it. To make him wait 2 more months makes no sense to me. It's in the reserves, we've pushed him off 2 to 3 years on this equipment, and which board here has nothing to do with it in my mind. It's a matter of it needs to be replaced, and he needs it to do his job correctly. Any comments from the audience? So please come up to the podium. Having said, no? Okay. I have a first and second to authorize the $325,060 for the golf course equipment out of repairs and reserves. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Passes 3-1.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is the funding request, golf course tree maintenance. It also is from the reserve funds of $84,575. This is they have a 5-year tree plan, just like we have on the roads. We have a 5-year plan so that, each year there's so much done or so many districts. They have now put in place this 5-year tree plan. And just to give you an idea of what they have to deal with on this, trees, there it is. This is going to be done, performed by Artistic Maintenance, and as I said, in the amount of $84,575, but it will be done in a 10-month period, and the charge will be $8,000, let me get to that.
1,040.
Thank you, $84.60 per month. And to give you an idea of what they're going to be doing, and just in the 10 months, and this doesn't cover all the trees, and we're talking about both golf courses. On this first go-around, this first-year plan, there's 227 California pepper trees they have to do, 380 eucalyptus trees, 232 palm trees. We just found out today that it was the eucalyptus trees that have never been addressed or trimmed or correct, and so not in a program. So it's just been kind of a hit and miss. So this will, once they get a handle and they go through this in the 5 years, then we won't have these major, like we've had in the past sometimes, major expenses because of trees. And trees are beautiful and we all want them, but it does cost to keep them, to keep them where they should be. So I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the proposal for tree maintenance performed by Artistic Maintenance in the amount of $84,575.
I second that motion.
Okay, any more discussion from the board? From the audience? Saying none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. Thank you, Mark. Okay, next is, let me go to this, out of this, and go to, okay, funding request for the common area and habitat area tree maintenance. This is, we received 3 proposals to thin out trees and remove dead trees throughout the common area. The bids ranged from $25,000 to $178,000. The cost of the proposed common area tree maintenance was picked $25,000 for artistic maintenance, and this is recommended by Mark Sliden, our Director of Operations. They're going to be removing trees throughout the property and the habitat area, and that goes from, Mark, do you want to come up and give them the area?
Good evening. It goes from Sea Pines off of Riviera up through Singing Hills, and that is hole 5 through hole 6.
Okay. And let's see. It says trees have outgrown their space and are causing also damaged sidewalks and common area walls. That's is all included in this? This is what's on the...
Yes, the existing 8 trees, you've got the habitat area, which was, I believe, 20,000. And then you've got an additional 5,000, and there's a total of 8 trees through the community. There's 2 on Country Club, there's 1 on Glen Eagles, there's 2 on Highland Springs. There was a total of 8 trees throughout the common area that was going to be removed as well. And they are, once again, they're splitting the common area walls. Sidewalks, we just did replacement of 3 sidewalks, 2 on Country Club and 1 on Wailea. And they pose significant tripping hazards.
Okay.
I'm going to stay right here.
Yes. Okay. Well, first, and I kind of jumped the gun, I'll entertain a motion. Should have done that first.
I move to approve the common area tree maintenance project.
I'll second that.
Okay. Now, any questions or comments from the board?
Just to reiterate, this area is behind hole number 5, all along behind number 5, and then around to the side of 6 tee box on the championship course, all that area. So,
And I know that habitat area really needs cleaned out, so,
It does, and we get, on an average, probably 4 to 6 calls each year from the fire marshal. Homeowners in those vicinities contact the city of Banning. Al Chacon comes out, he is the fire marshal for the city. He comes out, meets with myself, we meet with the neighbors, and we try to disperse the fact that there is a fire hazard within that area. So we just continue to clean and thin and go from there. So we started this about 4 or 5 years ago, and prior to that, the 3 years prior that I had been here, we did nothing with it. You couldn't see the water from the roadway or the homes. And looking back, we created a monster by clearing it out the first time. So once we cleared it, the homeowners liked what they saw, the city liked what they saw, and the homeowners felt safer with the removal of the debris.
well, the reason for that, Mark, is then when I came here 21 years ago, we were always told that all that habitat area belonged to the Corps of Engineers, and we could not touch it, period. So anytime they said if you touch anything in there, then if they caught you at it, then you had to maintain, we'll say a park in Wyoming someplace, because you were violating federal law. So, and then we found out just here, like within the last 5 to 10 years, that that's not true. And so we started maintaining it at that point, and it's been a big help, because those trees, like when I moved here, there was no trees, but now there's trees are, what, 50 feet tall.
And they are every bit of that. And I have contacted over the last 3 or 4 years, I'm working with the individual by the name of Jim Mays. He is with the Army Corps of Engineers. So him and I are in communication throughout the year on what we can and can't do. And basically it boils down to the water. We can't control the release or the input of the water into the habitat area.
any questions or comments from the audience? Please come to the podium.
Just a quick question, when you talk about clearing the trees right there in the wildwoods, as I call it, is that all of them? Is it going to be completely cleared, or are we just thinning it? What is it going to look like when it's finished?
We're going to thin, you have to hear.
It is thinning.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Saying none, I have a first and second to approve the funding request to clean out the common area tree maintenance habitat area, as well as remove 8 trees that are causing damage and a safety hazard in the amount of $25,000 to be done by artistic maintenance. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay, next is funding request for the replacement of the North Clubhouse HVAC system from the reserve funds. Let me get to that one. And it's here, okay. It was given to us for a review 3 proposals that ranged in from $29,780 to $31,990. The recommendation was to accept CSR in the amount of $29,780 to provide and install the cooling and heating units at the North Clubhouse. That would recommends replacing in the library, MPR, and the fitness units with new complete R-410A systems. Although the condenser and the MPR was replaced in 2017, the furnace and evaporator coils are still 1995 vintage. The condenser that was installed in 2017 uses R-4073 refrigerant and will not be compatible with the new equipment. Therefore, that condenser also will need to be replaced. And before I have Mark talk, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the replacement of the 3 cooling and heating units.
I have a second?
I second it in the amount of $28,780.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
It's 29.
It's 29.
It's 29,780.
Well, it's 29 on the,
There's 28
on
on
here
there.
it says 28 on our packet. Is it, so is it
is
29 or is it?
29,780.
Okay.
Okay.
I was reading off the,
Yeah, I was
Okay.
reading off of here.
Mark, just give a quick overview of the 3, how bad they are and why we had to do the one.
They are, once again, they're 26 years of age. The refrigerant is going to be outlawed on those units, so the compatibility, as Sandy stated, is no longer going to be there. It is time, we have been limping along, and it is time for replacement. Typically, a lot of these items I will defer till they break, but the problem is this is going to break in the summertime, and equipment and parts and pieces are far out at this time due to the pandemic, so we would be without heat or cooling within those clubhouses or within the North Clubhouse for some time. So my recommendation was to replace them at this time. And that goes in line with the reserve. And once again, all these items, which is something that was unique this year as opposed to the years in the past, we met with the FACT committee. They came in and they got detailed information on each and every one of these items that we're looking at and we're proposing before you. They looked at all the multiple proposals that we provided. They gave their insight to the board and with their recommendations. So in the past, the FACT was really never involved, but this year they were heavily involved. And in doing so, we seeked additional proposals. What's coming in next is going to be some painting proposals. And we were able to seek 4 vendors this year for proposals. And in doing so, we were able to beat them up amongst themselves. And I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, but on these painting projects, we have 5 painting projects total. We saved a total of $51,000 over those 5 projects by having that FAC involved with myself and the board. So,
Thank you.
I don't know if anyone has tried to order parts for anything or order new equipment anymore because of COVID-19. It takes forever to get equipment. Like we've just tried to order a refrigerator and an oven. Took us 4 months to get the equipment. So it's very difficult, and I think what Mark said, it takes a long time to get some of this stuff. So.
Any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, saying none, I have a first and second to approve the funding request for the replacement of the North Clubhouse HVAC system from the reserve funds in the amount of $29,780. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. The next is the executive golf course stucco wall paint and repair that Mark was kind of alluring to here. Let me go to that one. Okay. He did secure 4 bids. And again, all of these that are coming up come out of the reserves. And he was able, because of the 4 bids, he did a phenomenal job because in the end, he got all of these jobs below what is in the reserves to get for the replacement, or, correct?
Correct. And once again, on the reserve line, it calls for a worst and a best-case scenario.
Yes.
So I always split it. In the reserve analysis, it gives a number, and that number is typically between the worst and the best scenario. So between that worst and best, what the reserve calls for, we were able to save this year on these 5 projects, $51,715.
Well done. And again, as he said, the FAC was heavily involved with that and came in and went through everything with him, and they are on board with this. So the amount, and again, these bids ranged from $21,555 to $42,980. The total proposed cost to the association for the executive side, and again, this is the golf course stucco wall paint and repair, is $21,550 by Empire Works. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the $21,555 for the executive golf course stucco wall paint and repair.
I'll second that.
Any discussion from the board? From the audience? Saying none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. The next one is the Championship Golf Course stucco wall paint and repair, also from the reserve funds. This is $57,550. And keep going up here. Okay, this one, again, 4 bids, ranged from $57,550 to $104,980. And again, the recommendation was to give to Empire Works in the amount of $57,550. This also encompasses painting and repairs of the Championship Golf Course stucco walls on both courses?
That is correct.
Okay, on both courses, the Championship and the exec. And I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the Championship Golf Course stucco wall paint and repair project.
I'll second that.
Okay, any comments from the board? From the audience, any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Aye. That one passes 4-0. The next one is the North Clubhouse and Pool area, painting wall, iron fence, and gate. And that at an amount of $12,200, which we question mark on that, and which was great, because that's a, let me get to that one. Let's see, which one is this one? H? Okay.
Yeah.
North Clubhouse. Okay. And again, there were 4 bids, ranged from $12,200 to $18,060. The recommendation was, on this one, was to award it to American Eagle in the amount of $12,200. And this is not only the, this is painting the whole North Clubhouse.
That's correct, and the pool cabana and the pool equipment room was included in this as well.
Okay.
And the iron fence too, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the funding request of $12,200 for the North Clubhouse pool area, painting wall, iron fence, and gate.
I second it.
Any comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the audience? Saying none, all in favor? Aye. That one passes 4-0. The RV lot is next. Painting wall iron fence and repairs, also from reserves, in the amount, and I'll have to get to that one, I can't read it in the, it's cut off on the
$24,080.
paper.
$24,080.
Okay. 24,080. Again, there were 4 bids. It ranged from the $24,080 to $30,000. The recommendation was to award it to American Eagle in that amount. This was the exterior of the, oh wait, this is the exterior of the North Clubhouse pool area and fencing.
No.
Will be painted and included?
No.
No?
This is the
But this is,
RV.
Aye.
am I on the wrong, that's for the page I'm on.
Says the,
But that's what it states in description.
That's correct. It's the interior of the RV lot and the iron fence that sits atop it.
Okay.
And once again, we're going to be doing the seal coating in the RV lot and the restriping. So all of this will occur in June when we remove all the vehicles, and notices will go out to all owners at that time. So we will do the entire lot, stripe, seal coat, paint, and then we'll take care of all the lighting at that time as well.
Okay. All right. Let's see, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the proposal as written, $24,080 for the funding request for the RV lot and painting and with the wall, iron fence, and repairs.
I second that motion.
Okay. Any comments from the board? From the audience? Come to the podium, please.
Mark had said that that was the interior of the RV lot, the painting for the interior walls of the RV lot. I'm assuming then that the exterior wall is covered under the painting of the stucco.
Oh, no? Doesn't that face the golf course?
The proposal in the reserve calls for the 3-foot fence, the 3-foot stucco wall that goes throughout. So the stucco wall that has the blue stripe,
Yes.
that is not included in that. I will work my tail off to get that one little section included with that. And I'll give you my word now, we'll include it, but that's not part of it. But I will make it happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I have a first and second to approve. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay. The next is the funding request for the common area iron fence painting and repairs from the reserves in the, okay, let me get to J. In the amount of $55,800. Again, there were 4 bids ranging in $55,800 to $77,530. The recommendation, again, was to award it to American Eagle at that cost of $55,800. Now, this is painting and repairs to the iron fence throughout the association. So,
That is correct. So the reserve item calls for strictly paint and paint only, it did not include the repairs. So in the proposal, I was able to include the repairs for the total cost of $55,800. The reserve line called for $50,500 in the painting alone, and we've included the $15,000 in repairs to be made. This goes from Sun Lakes Boulevard, the north side, Highland Springs, Sun Lakes Boulevard, gates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, Oak Hill, Cherry Hill, districts 18 and 19, south of Broadmoor, Turnberry, the Edison easements. So these are all the brown iron fence you see throughout the property in the common areas.
And some of those will have repairs. I mean, those fences are,
We are losing the iron fence. It's
Yes.
30 years of getting beat up by sprinklers and the nature itself, but hopefully we can limp this along for another 3 to 5 years, but down the road, we're looking at a replacement.
okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the painting and repairs of the fencing throughout the association.
I'll second that.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Now, I just need a clarification. Is this the exterior walls in Sun Lakes?
No, this is the brown wrought iron
Wrought
fencing.
iron fences.
Okay, all right.
Any questions or comments from the audience? Okay. Okay, saying none, I'll bring it back. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 4-0. Okay. The pavement funding engineering consultant. Okay, let me get to that one. Okay, we have a proposal from Associated Engineering Consultants, Inc. to provide the plans, specifications, and bidding documents for the 2021 asphalt rehabilitation project in the amount of $9,370 to be paid out of the association's reserves. This is our 5-year plan for the streets, and so this is to come in and start to bring about our bids, putting together the plan of the mobilization, and what else, Mark? I'm missing one.
It is for engineering, plan docs, bidding process, and what they do is he will create the RFP, he'll send it out to potential bidders, the bidders will respond, he'll create a spreadsheet, provide it to the board of directors here, and then we will award the contract for the vendor to complete the 2021 asphalt rehabilitation project.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the funding request from AEC for the pavement management funding in the amount of $9,370.
I'll second that.
Any other questions or discussion from the board? From the audience? Saying none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. Okay. The next two have to deal with the Gate 2 waterfall refresh and the Gate 2 trees removal. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to table this and to defer both L and M to a future date.
I second that.
Okay, I have a first and second to table items L and M to be scheduled at a future date. All in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0.
Madam President, I did have a member comment for that section.
Yes.
Can I have permission to read it?
Yes.
To the board, the March 24th agenda lists an incredible dollar amount of funding requests. The reserves are already at a low of approximately 62%. That puts Sun Lakes in a potential precarious financial situation. Will the new board be faced with proposing a special assessment to cover these, in some situations, unnecessary expenses? In particular, the proposal of $259,000 for Gate 2 waterfall refresh seems extremely excessive. I agree that some trees should be removed since they cause maintenance issues with the pool. It is no secret that Sun Lakes is an older community, but has always been maintained extremely well. However, I fear the current funding requests are above and beyond what is necessary. The current board should take into consideration that the new board will be responsible for managing these excessive expenses. Is the board satisfied that they have researched every request adequately, have multiple sources, been solicited for bid? What can be done to reduce the expenditures? But Madam President, you've answered that by tabling this.
Okay, thank you. I also want to state, we are tabling it, and we discussed it, and we did listen, and it's going to have to come up. It's got to be done. Not only Gate 2, but also 1. And, right now, the liners are shot. They're gone. They're already gone. Their tree roots are into those ponds now. So when something comes up, he fixes it to keep it going, but eventually, they're going to have to be redone. But we can table it. We talked to Mark, and they'll look at it at a future date, and the new board can decide. Hopefully, we don't know what the timing will be, when it will be brought back, and hopefully nothing major will happen in the interim. But there is a need. It has to be done eventually. And I don't know if you wanted to make any comments on that, Mark?
No, it's just, I was speaking with the homeowner this afternoon, and we're at that 32-year mark, and things are starting to fail around here. And we look at we're responsible for the condominium roofs, and Jason and I are dealing with that on a tremendous level. These roofs are failing. These water features are failing. Your stucco walls are failing. Your wrought iron is failing. 30 years of something that takes a beating day in and day out, they are wearing out. So down the road, this board, the next board, and the board after, there are big ticket items coming.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd just like one comment, Sandy.
Yes.
We used common sense on this one. We thought that it would be in the best interest to delay this for a little while anyway, and let the next board handle it. But just common sense tells us this was probably not the best time this evening to talk about this. So that's why we did this.
Mark, thank you, and thank you for all your work on getting these bids and putting all this together for us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You can go home now.
Okay. Item 10N is a request from the Safety Advisory Committee to expand members from 7 to 9.
Sandy, point of order. Did we vote on that?
We tabled it.
Yes, we did, 4-0.
We tabled it, but we don't think we voted.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
We did.
Okay, all right.
Good.
All
We
right.
did. Okay. I lost my train of thought. From the Safety Committee, wanting to expand to 9 members. We received a request from William Bess, who is the chairperson. The committee has requested to have Safety Committee expand from 7 to 9 members. The reasoning for this is that at any given meeting, they seem to always be missing a couple members due to vacations and doctor appointments. The committee feels that if they are expanded to 9 members, they will also have a good group of residents to review the violations. In addition, the committee feels they would benefit from this 9-person committee since they plan to meet twice a month. So I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that the Safety Committee request for expansion to 9 members be approved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion from the board? From the audience? Saying none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. Okay. Let's see, rule change. Okay. The attached rule change, 21-03, purpose is to change section 3.04 of the Sun Lakes Rules and Regulations as last amended December 19th, 2019, to comply with new California Civil Code section 4741. The effect of the rule change will be to eliminate the language from section 3.04 of the rules and regulations which mandated a minimum rental lease period of 1 year and did not allow for possible rentals of accessory dwelling units or junior accessory dwelling units. This is the first reading of the rule. The item will be published online in the May Lifestyles, and the rule will be placed on the June 23rd agenda for final approval. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading.
I move that we accept this first reading of the proposed rule change of 21-03.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0.
And just point of clarification, Madam President, this rule is on the website. This was also sent out on Monday in an email blast to the community. The following two rules are on there. And as a reminder, there was some confusion about the rule being approved immediately. And so what I just wanted to take a minute, if I could, the rule is the 30-day or the 28-day reading is simply that the board is approving putting out that rule. They're not approving it. They're simply putting it out there for comment. That means the law allows Civil Code 28 days. But here at Sun Lakes, we even expanded a little further, adding another 30 days by it running in Lifestyles. And so this item will actually be coming back to the June 23rd meeting after members' comments, after it's run through the Lifestyles in May. If the board approves it at the June 23rd meeting, then it would go into effect July 1st, 2021.
Thank you. The second proposed rule change, the rule change 21-04, purpose is to address trailer parking and related concerns on the private streets within Sun Lakes. Previously, recreational vehicle parking was addressed by Section 5.09, Paragraph 17 of the Association's Rules and Regulations as amended December 19, 2019. The proposed change will specifically address trailer parking in addition to RV parking. The effect of the proposed rule change, if approved by the board, will be to make the revised paragraph of 17 of Section 5.09 of the Rules and Regulations binding and enforceable as part of the association's government documents. This is the first reading of the rule. The item will be published online and in the May Lifestyles. The rule will be placed on the June 23rd agenda for final approval. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the first reading of this proposed rule change 2104, dealing with the recreational vehicles area rules and regulations.
I second that motion.
Chris, do I need to read this rule?
Madam President, this rule again was emailed in an email blast. This was on the website. This will run in the Lifestyles for the month of May. So this has already been distributed to the community. We can revisit it. We can read it if the board wishes. But this has already been issued out to the community, and they will have 60 days to review this, and we'll be coming back to the June 23rd meeting.
Okay. All right. All right, I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Where are we? Okay, we're to the comments from the audience. Do we have any? Did we put the slips out? If not, just come up, since we haven't done this for so long. Oh, boy.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to thank this board for all its work. This has been one hell of a year for you guys, and I think you've done a spectacular job. I want to thank Jack for filling in, stepping up, and being a good board member for this time. It really filled a need for our community, and I thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll thank my wife, too. She's actually lived and died this thing now for 5 years, and I know what that was like because I did it before her. And she takes this job as serious as anybody I've ever seen up here. And you know, I love her at home, but she's really bled Sun Lakes for the last 5 years, and I just want to tell her, you know, great job. Thank you.
Thank you. That's embarrassing. Okay. Any other comments?
Yes, we do have some, Madam President, from the community. I have one, I'd like to thank the board for executing The Spectrum agreement last year, I am saving $113 a month in 2021 and have not seen any reduction in programming and/or service quality. I believe I am not the only one experiencing these significant monthly savings. That was one item. The other is comment, I really don't like, this is regarding the point of sale, I really don't like the statement about the POS people assume no liability and responsibility if the POS system and my personal information is hacked. Can I opt out of giving anyone my personal information that Sun Lakes or First Service has at the present time? Will I receive written confirmation that the information has not been given to anyone and will not be in the future? Can I use the restaurant and bar? Can I still use my credit card to pay my account? Like many senior residents, I do not trust our personal information with almost anyone, and I see no good reason for us to give it to the POS people. That's that comment.
Is that all? That's it? Okay, and there's no more from the audience here? Okay, yes, sir.
Are we on? Okay.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board for all your hard work through this challenging times. I mean, there's a lot of issues with cost that's going on, running the restaurant, doing curbside service, but I think the way that you've handled the COVID-19 issue and getting food to our seniors when they weren't able to get out and get food, I compliment you for that. So, thank you. On the other hand, you know, we had an agenda tonight to spend about $950,000 during two of the most challenging years we've had. As Bob had requested that we postpone the $325,000 approval of equipment till the next board came in, I think that would have been an appropriate decision. I understand that the maintenance guys have done an outstanding job here, band-aiding equipment, but as the new group comes in, you know, we are in probably the most challenging times that Sun Lakes has had to do. And I think we ought to be really, really careful how much money we spend, even if it's in the reserves, because our reserves are so low. We need to maintain our costs, and we need to keep our costs down. If we can Band-Aid anything for the rest of this year and plan it for next year, I think that would be a much more appropriate plan. Even painting and stucco repair. That's a lot of money that we're committing this year. I think it would be more appropriate to have the new board make that decision, not the last meeting of this board. But that being said, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, board comments. Bob?
Yes, thank you. Glad to see that we now have at least 25% or 50 people. We have open board hearing. This is the first time since I've been on that we've actually had people show up. And I really appreciate it, and the interaction with the homeowners and residents is great, and we need more of that. I want to thank Jack Sidwell and Sandy Moyer for their service and commitment to our community. I especially want to thank Sandy and George for all their leadership that they've shown over the years, including recently arranging the vaccination here as a county site. You know, that was awesome and very helpful, get people vaccinated. And now that we're getting vaccinated and getting into the red tier, we're starting to open up. You know, I think it's great. The gyms are opening up now at 10%. The pools are opening up early. They're going to be open up April 1st. We have the billiards are open. The clubhouse is going to be open to 25%, so this is awesome. We're starting to get back to some sort of normalcy and get the clubs and people you know, more involved in our community and get back to the way we used to be prior to COVID. The election is coming up. Very, very important. The results will be coming in on 14th of April. We will have 3 new board members, so make sure that you vote and you get your neighbors to vote. I noticed tonight that we have many and most of the candidates here showing interest tonight. And we have an awesome, awesome candidate pool, very, very qualified. If you saw the forum, you'll know how qualified they all are. I can remember in years past where we had like 2 openings and only 2 people ran. So there really wasn't even an election. It was just who wants to go do all the work. So it's nice seeing that many people interested in helping our community. So I want to thank everybody and looking forward to the next year.
Thank you. Jack?
Well, first of all, I want to thank my colleagues for accepting me and bringing me on board as to fill in this vacancy for 6 months. It's my second time on the board, but I've enjoyed it both times, and you learn a lot. You get to meet an extremely talented group of people called the staff, and it's amazing crew, how much information they provide to us and our guidance through making decisions. And it's well appreciated, because without the staff, we would be really lost. So I want to thank again the board and the staff for working diligently and accepting me. Also thank Sandy especially. She and George have spent 13 years on the board of directors between the two of them. So they've done more accidentally than most people do on purpose in this community. So they deserve a great deal of thank you. And I know she and I just got through filming our interviews, and it's going to be running on 97. So we're technically movie stars now. I know I appeared on ESPN twice and Dr. Joyce Brothers' show once. They all did makeup on all those shows. But Lee told me when we were filming that they didn't have the budget to give us makeup. So this last Saturday, I guess it was, we filmed it, and it was a conversational meeting, and we discussed a lot of things, what we've been through, and COVID has been significant in our lives, and I hope we never have to go through it again, but it's been an amazing process. And you get to meet a lot of nice people in the community as well. And we've got a lot of super people in this community. So, again, thank you for accepting me. And we're just going to walk off into the sunset like Dale Evans and Roy Rogers.
Yeah, that's what he tells me. He's Roy Rogers, I'm Dale Evans, and we're riding off. Thank you, Jack. Okay, Marcia?
Well, these two kind of stole my thunder, so that's okay, because I still think Sandy needs a huge round of applause for putting up with us 2 newbies and all the questions that we've had to ask this last year. And her leadership and dedication to this community is huge. And so we wish you and George a fun and relaxing time after a combined 13 years on the master board. That's a very big commitment from one family. So I think they deserve, a big, huge thanks. And Jack, your humor and fun times in all of our sessions have been great. And so we appreciate you stepping in for us these last few months. Bob talked a little bit about the voting. If you've not yet voted, make sure you go to the Sun Lakes website or Channel 97 and watch the candidate forum. The candidates really did very well. They gave an opening statement. They answered some great questions that were submitted by the residents, and then they gave a closing statement. So if you can watch this, you really make an informed choice on when you vote for your candidates. So with 3 open positions and 8 candidates, each vote really is very important, so please make your voice heard. And then once you do vote, get that ballot in the mail as soon as you can, hopefully in the next couple of days. I know that we've talked a little bit about the restaurant. It does open this Friday at 25% capacity. Right now, we'll be using 12 tables. So please be patient, because it's really been a challenge trying to get people hired on to work. The entire area around here, Morongo, people in Hemet, Saboba, all those, we're all fighting for the same people to come and work, and it's been a challenge. So as soon as we get more staff on board, we'll open up more tables, but right now there'll be 12. So if you want to come in and eat in the restaurant, it's highly recommended that you make a reservation. Curbside and delivery are still available from 11:30 to 6. The restaurant will be open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., so come and enjoy. It'll be lots of fun. And then the last thing I have to say is a little bit about, if you're interested in seeing the 2021 budget and reserve study, which we talked a lot about tonight, they are both available on the website under reports and forms. They really give you a lot of information on the maintenance plan, the spending plan that we've approved this evening. So the next open board meeting, you get to see the new board in action. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Please go vote. And Sandy and George, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Welcome. And Jack had
I'd like
one
to
more
just say
thing.
another thing. This election is extremely important. You've got to vote because you don't want to leave it up to the delegates, because I don't think a lot of people realize that if you don't get 50% plus one, the delegate has really the right to vote everything the way they see it. That's unfunny. And I've been a delegate for 19 of the 21 years I've been here. And so it's a tough decision to have to do that. So don't leave it up to the delegates to have to vote for you. So please vote. And that one thing on the ballot about the amendment, it's one thing to cover, but there's another portion of it that I'm sure Sandy maybe will elaborate on, but we're going to take it through the legislative process. We got that information today, and we've taken it up to our state senator and state assemblyman to carry it forth to, because there's been some points in that bill that is not favorable to HOAs. So I just said, please vote. You need to vote yes on that because we need to get this cleared up. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Okay. I have a couple things. I'm just going to reiterate, starting April 1st, the pools will be open and only from 10 till 6. And then May, the hours will be determined, will be announced later as to what those hours will be. We're really hoping that we get from this red to the orange, because then we can even open more. And I think we're finally going in that direction, especially with more people getting their shots. And that's going to be a great day, a great celebration, because we can all get together and socialize again. Really, I look forward to that. I look forward, and I think we all will really appreciate even more what we have here. It's kind of like you get so used to it, you don't really realize what you have until you don't have it. And I think this COVID has brought that out as far as just how well we do have it here. And we're just looking forward to be able to enjoy it again. Also, on the April 1st, where the golf carts, you can double up, and that's a choice. You don't have to, you can still go single. But if those of you who want to double up on the golf carts or in your cart, it will be permitted. But again, you have a choice, it's either or. Also, referring to the shots, for those residents who got their first shots here back in March 8th or 9th, next Monday or Tuesday, you should have gotten the link by now. Make sure you've called and got your reservation to come back in next Monday or Tuesday to get your second shot. And last but not least, this is my last open meeting. My last official act will be on April 14th when I open up for the ballots, but this is my last open. And I want to thank First Service and the staff. They have been phenomenal people to work with. My board members, the past board members I worked with, and the community. I want to say thank you. It's been an honor, and it's been a trip. I will tell you that. It's been a trip, but I am honored, and I thank you all very, very much. And have a good evening. See you later. Oh, motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, we're adjourned at 8:10. Okay.
I was trying.